Day by day, Triple I is just going up and up. Chris Stuckman, one of the most popular movie reviewer on YouTube, has finally reviewed Triple R. And he posted it just a day after when India didn't select Triple R for the Oscars. The film still has a lot of chance, and I think this will attribute to that. So let's have a look. If you haven't seen the original, I'll put the link in the description. Go check that out first.
RRR is directed by S.S. Rajamouli, and it is one of the most requested reviews of all time that I've ever had on this channel. So I am here to talk about it today. This film is
You got all the pronunciations right. I appreciate that.
a fictitious story about two legendary revolutionaries and their journey away from home before they started fighting for their country in the 1920s. A young girl named Molly is taken away from her family by British Governor Scott Buxton. A man named Beam, who considers Molly his sister, is searching for her. And
Got that thing right because a lot of people think it's his real sister, but it's like he's the shepherd of the tribe, so everyone is like a brother sister to them.
Indian cop who works for the British Army named Raju is tasked with finding Beam, but both of them don't realize this when they become best friends. I watched this movie last night with a buddy of mine, and I can't remember the last time that I screamed, hollered, laughed, clapped, just had an all-around insanely good time watching a movie. I mean, I would say Top Gun Maverick, but that was a different experience. I was just basically transfixed for the entirety of Top Gun Maverick and just enthralled by it. RRR is a different kind of movie watching experience. This is one of those rare movies that actually brings that side of me out, where I want to yell at the screen and throw popcorn and just be really into the experience, because I have not had this much pure fun watching a movie in years. And it's also one of those movies that I've heard a lot about this year. I've had so many of my friends recommend it to me, and a lot of you guys have too. And whenever that happens, I always think there's no way it's going to live up to these expectations. It's just impossible. Like, I'm going to go into this movie expecting like the greatest fucking movie of all time, and it's just not going to deliver. RRR is exactly what I thought it would be, but so much more. Like, it has everything you could ever want.
That's true. There's so much more because it has all the fun. It's the best time watching a film. It's so excited, throughout. It's entertaining. And over that, there are so many more layers to it.
You're a fan of action cinema, but it's also far more heartfelt than I expected it to be, and it tugged at my heartstrings in various ways that I did not expect. The
Yes, it
film
does.
also goes through a vast array of tonal shifts. I mean, we've got dance sequences, we've got bloody murder, we've got children being taken from their families, we've got kids being forced to kill loved ones, and we've got one of the best romances between two dudes I've ever fucking seen. They're in love, man, you know it. This movie just has everything. It's an explosion of pure joy for cinema, and I loved every second of this movie. It felt very much to me like what a lot of people are asking Hollywood to go back to. Kind of like the good version of Canon Movie Group, a bunch of muscly, sweaty men with over-the-top explosions, damsels in distress, and insane action sequences. I mean, this movie feels like a 1980s film. It feels like a Commando or a Jean-Claude Van Damme or Chuck Norris movie, except taken to 11 and considerably better than those films. This feels like a movie that a lot of people in America have been clamoring for lately and begging Hollywood to make. It's just not made in America. There are action sequences in this film that are so incredibly entertaining, I sometimes couldn't even believe my eyes. I actually jumped out of my seat and like screamed a few times because dudes do things that are so fucking absurd and over the top. I loved every second of it. My favorite kill in the movie, and I guess this is a bit of a spoiler if you don't want to know any kills or any crazy things that happen in the movie, but I fucking loved when he shoots an arrow through the tree and just barely misses the guy, but then he grabs the dude's head and just like rams it into the arrow. I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. I felt like I was watching Turok the Dinosaur Hunter, except with a bunch of British soldiers, and our dude Raju was Turok. It was amazing. By the way, why haven't we gotten a Turok the Dinosaur Hunter movie? We need one of those. And
I
let's
have
get
no
this
idea about that film.
guy to direct it, seriously. And the piggyback ride scene, oh my God. I mean, my friend, when we were watching it, he mentioned that this seems like a slightly new frontier for action films. This and Malignant, the sequence in Malignant in the jail, where there's so much we've already seen in action, especially in fights, but this new sort of like physicality that's being displayed about awkward body structure in a fight scene is a little bit new. And Malignant and this film both did something very fun and similar in that.
I have no idea about the other one, but also I have to mention that all the fight scenes, right? Because if a movie has so many fight sequences, like big action scenes, all of them are different, all of them are fresh. There's no repetition at all. Even the climax, they are, hitting them, but there's inventiveness throughout. There's no time. It's, and again, you can say it's not realistic, but that's not the point. It's not made to be looking realistic. That's the style of the film, and they're embracing it.
Way, and it feels like that's a genuinely new thing I've never seen in a fight. But even with all of these action sequences being as fun as they are, I wouldn't really care if I didn't give a shit about these two dudes and their friendship, and I really did. I cared about them, and when
Yes,
Raju
the emotional connect.
kind of has a moment where him and Beam just aren't really friends anymore, I felt like, shit, man, you guys need to work that shit out, man. Come on. You're my dudes. You guys did a dance off. Like you're the best dudes. Work it out, man. There's also a very effective sequence. It might actually be the most effective sequence in the film. It's a flashback, and I'll be vague about it to avoid too many spoilers, but it's one of the characters when they were younger. I was legitimately blown away by the craft in that scene, not just from the visuals of it, but the idea of what takes place and how it all comes back in
Yeah.
the end. I've never seen a film that's this perfect combination of melodrama and cheesiness, absurd over the top action, and then genuinely wonderful ideas for storytelling that would be considered great in any drama. RRR has so much that I never expected it to have, and I would strongly recommend watching this movie and do it with a bunch of your friends and just have a blast because this movie is fucking great. So thanks for recommending it, and I apologize that it took me so long to get to this movie, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.
I'll be honest, I'm not someone who follows him a lot. I have seen few, videos of him of some other films I have to check out, but not like a avid viewer of his content. But he has 2 million subscribers around the globe. People watch him, and he's actually making a film himself now. I think if that's similar to what I even want to do later. Maybe we can talk about it somewhere else. But yes, coming to Triple R, what he said, right? I'm again coming to the same point. All the action, all the epic stuff, you put it aside. There's still something there. It's not just about the visuals or the grandeur. There's so much going on. The craft, you cannot let it, just say, oh, it's just over the top nonsensical thing. No, there's effort put in. There's storyline. Like if you are a watcher of cinema, if you understand cinema, how it works, you will appreciate this film because there's so. See, there's a thing of not liking something. I've seen some classic films people love and rave about. I personally didn't like them, but I don't call them they're wrong, bad films or makes no sense at all. No, the film is very well made. Another example to take Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tarantino's film. It went to Oscars. There's definitely, something great about that film. But for me, I just didn't like it. Like I didn't connect it at any level. But I'm not going saying it's the worst movie ever made, it's horrible, it makes no sense. Because it doesn't make no sense to me, doesn't make the film bad. I can totally understand, some people don't like Triple R. It's not their cup of tea. But that doesn't make the film bad, objectively. And that's where, the distinction you get when you understand cinema and then you come from an ignorant perspective, where you just feel if something doesn't work for you, it's horrible, it's shit. It's Triple R is not. And I can just, spend my whole lifetime defending the film because it's worth it. I believe in it, and as so many people does like him. So again, sad for what happened. We didn't send it, but I think it actually worked in its favor. But anyways, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, check out this video next. If you like this, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.